Hello, Beefy. Oh, hi, Beefy. Getting a little big, eh?
Huh? What are you talking about, Caesar?
Oh, you're putting on a few pounds, it looks like.
Huh? Oh, no. This is nothing. Just the holiday season, you know.
Oh, okay. Whatever you say.
Oh, but Caesar, I've got a gift for you.
Really?
Hello and welcome to Caesar's Snack Sandwich. Today we're on Binance Smart Chain taking a look at Beefy Finance. It's been a little while since I've come here. You know, I've always come checking, number go up and all that, but I haven't really taken a good look and shown what I've seen. Now I've been seeing things growing and things being added and stuff like that, but just been kind of lazy to do a video, so I thought I'd step in here and do a video for you and tell you some of the new things that are interesting and exciting. But before I do that, there's something else I want to show you. Beefy Finance and a few of the other protocols on Binance Smart Chain have come together for a Christmas special. So let's swing over to that website and look at that first. So here is the general tutorial on how to get into this Christmas special lottery. Of course, links to this will be in the description below, and I'm not going to go through all this with you because I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? I will take you to the website that you need to do, but if you can't find it in my description, you can find it here on this link. So, what is the lottery? This Medium article here explains to you how the lottery is going to work. Now, basically, you need to stake some Moo tokens, some Vault shares that Beefy has produced, and you can have a chance to win them. So there are 4 different Vault shares that you can take part in. So you could stake this one and gain some, possibly win some of these TWT tokens. You could stake this one, the Vault Drugs Vault, and possibly win some of these drugs. You could stake this Vault here, the Thugs Nar LP, and possibly win some NFTs, and this one here, the Beefy Max Vault, and you can possibly win some of these prizes. Now, you just stake your LP token into the user interface, and that's it. And then on the first, I think it's the first or the second, they're going to draw and say who the winner is, okay? So from December 20th to December 30th is the chance you can get some tickets. So let's swing over to the user interface and see how that looks. So the user interface is christmas.beefy.finance, and you don't need the staking, it'll automatically add it when you type it in. So link in the description again. So here are the 4 pools that you can stake your Moo tokens in. Now remember, Moo tokens are the share tokens you get by depositing into certain vaults in the Beefy app. So back to the Christmas special. So we have TWT, BNP. So if you are partaking in this and you have some tokens, you can stake them in here and start to gain some tickets. Now this is an LP, a liquidity LP token. So back the drugs vault. This is a single asset vault, and you can see I've currently staked mine and I have 19 tickets, and the tickets are going up and up and up. So daily 45 tickets, something like that. Okay, Thugs Nar. So this is another LP. If you decided to take part in this one, you can stake your tokens in here. And the Beefy Max. So this is the Beefy token or the Beefy vault that just farms more Beefy. Okay, for you. So I've staked some. I don't have a lot, but it's enough, and I get 9 tickets. So maybe I win, maybe I don't. It's okay. It's 0 loss. I paid a little bit of gas, but this is Binance Smart Chain, and gas is super cheap. I think I paid 5 cents or something like that. Okay, so this is it. So you just stick it in here and wait for your tickets, and then they're going to draw the tickets later. Okay, so that's pretty simple enough, right? So let's swing back to the app and let's look at what's new there. So here we are back on the Beefy Finance app. And you can see that this Beefy Max, I'm currently participating in this, and my deposited tokens are way, way, way low, right? Because when you do stake them in the Christmas thing, they disappear from here, but they're not gone. And the vault itself is still doing its work. It's still building your Beefy tokens. It's still doing this APY for your shares of the Beefy vault. So don't worry about that, okay? Your funds are safe and they are still growing. Let's go down. So here we have a new protocol added to Beefy Finance since I've last been here, and it's the Venus protocol. Now, this is pretty impressive, okay? This is, let's look at some of these tokens. BNB, 17%. That's pretty good, okay? SXP 9%, USDC 25%, USDT 29%, BUSD 26%, Bitcoin 16% on BTCB. 16%. Where are you going to get 16% APY? Now these are not steady. They're not going to last forever because they're based on the Venus protocol. And when I get into the Venus protocol, you'll understand why this is not going to be consistent and steady forever, but it's still pretty good. ETH, 15%. This is tough to get, okay? Even like Alpha Homora, they give you sometimes 22%, but usually it's around 8 or 9%. Litecoin, XRP. These are not bad, okay? 15%. Now, of course, they don't compare to like, stuff like the drugs is like, 6,000%, 1% per day. But, I'm farming drugs here, right? Whereas here, farming Bitcoin at 16%. This is worth considering, okay? Now, it is Venus protocol, so you have the contract risk of both Beefy and Venus, okay? So you have to take that into consideration. I wouldn't put all my Bitcoin in here and just milk this for all it's worth. And if you put too much, if there's too much Bitcoin in here, this APY will slowly decrease as well. And I'll show you why when we get over to the Venus protocol. Now, Beefy does have a overall audit done on them, and they are being audited by the individual vaults are being audited as well by DeFi Yield. You can find that by, looking in the description below. I will supply you with a URL to that. Okay, so let's go over to Venus protocol to understand how are these producing these yields. Okay, so here we are on the Venus dashboard. Okay, the Venus protocol dashboard. And if you take a quick look, you jump around, vote, market, dashboard, you can kind of see it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward, and it has pretty much 3 main features. Okay. It's a supply and borrow market, similar to Aave or Compound or any of these, or even Cream Finance. It's basically doing that, but it also has a mint and repay VI. So VI is kind of like make or die, okay? It's like Binance Smart Chain's version of make or die. But, VI doesn't have all the yield farming opportunities that DAI does. And actually, I haven't found any VI yield farming, but that's me. I didn't find them, okay? But what makes this one special is these APYs. So let's take a look at the BTCB. Oh, great. Tesla's another one. So let's take a look at the BTCB because that's what we were looking at on Beefy Finance. So it says 5.71%. Now that's including this. So let's go down. If I were to just lend BTC here, I would gain 1.6 BTC APY, which is not so great, right? So that's the lending. So it would lend this out to people who want to borrow it. Now, if people were to borrow BTC, they would pay 5%, okay? 5% to borrow it. Okay, so this is the straight up lend and borrow. But how this protocol is making these more lucrative is that they are also issuing their XVS token right now. This is their governance token for the voting over here, right? So it's also issuing this, okay? So that pumps the APY up to 5.7%, okay? And it also turns the borrowing into a positive APY. So you're actually getting paid to borrow from them as well. You're netting more just by borrowing it than you are from, forget about the lending. You have to lend in order to borrow, right? But the actual borrow APY is a positive number. You're actually gaining more XVS than you actually paying in interest, okay? So what the Beefy Finance is doing is that they are coming here with the token that you choose. So let's go back here. Let's say I chose this and I put my BTCB in here, and it's going to swing over to Venus, supply here, and then borrow BTC. Now this protocol allows you to borrow the same thing that you supply. So it's borrowing it, and then it's sticking it back in. And then it's borrowing it, sticking it back in, and it's borrowing it and sticking it back in. So basically 3 times. And just to be safe, it's only borrowing 54%. So just to be 100% safe, the chance of liquidation is very low when you lend and borrow the same thing, because the liquidation comes from a divergence in price value. If the price of your asset that you lent decreases and the price of your borrowed increases, you have a large divergence in price. Your price is separated quite a bit. You have a chance of getting liquidated. But when you borrow the same thing that you lent, the chance of liquidation is almost nil. I can't think of any reason why they would possibly be able to. There could be a price, exploit or something like that might be able to find a way around it. But other than that, I can't think of anything. So the main risk of this protocol is just purely the smart contract, in my opinion. Now there is one more step to the vault, and that is this XVS token. So remember I mentioned that this XVS token is a reward that if you borrow and you claim, or if you borrow and you supply here, you will gain this token as a claimable token. You can claim it. Now I'm not exactly borrowing or claiming on here, so I can't seem to find the button that will allow me to claim the XVS. But, I assume it's a claimable token that, will build up inside the protocol, and anytime I want, I can claim this token and get it. Now, what Beefy Finance is doing is it's claiming it for you and selling it at market for more of your asset that you put in here. So, in our case, the BTC-B. So, it's going to claim those tokens for you and stick them in here and gain you more. Compounding those tokens into more of your asset and building it up. That's how this percentage and the one on Beefy Finance here is so much different, because they are compounding those and they are leveraging into it. So they're doing both leveraging, lend, borrow, and they are farming the XVS token and selling it for more BTC-B. Okay? Now they do have this other mint buy thing. I haven't looked into this closely, and I tried to find out more about this because there's this thing up here, mint Vi and 44%. I have some Vi from farming Pancake Swap. And 44% here, I couldn't figure out where this 44% is coming from. So I went to the Telegram and I took a picture of this and I posted it with a question saying, hey, can someone explain to me where this is coming from? And I got banned because I put a picture. If you see here, groups restricted you for messaging because I put that picture. I asked someone to ask for me to be unbanned, but I haven't been unbanned yet. It's been about 12 hours. So anyhow, take that into consideration as well. So I wasn't able to find out what this 44% is, but it has nothing to do with the Beefy Finance anyways. So let's swing back to Beefy Finance. So that's pretty much it. I do want to remind you, don't forget your Christmas. Get your tokens, get your lottery tickets if you have Moo tokens. Now I'm not exactly sure how they're going to draw it, how they're going to announce it, whether or not it's going to be straight in that UI or it's going to be on their Telegram and Discord. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. Okay. And, you've got 11 days, so ape in now, get in there quick before it's gone, okay? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and goodbye. Hello, thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to support the channel, there are a few ways you can help me out a lot. Number one is I have a Gitcoin grant. This is a pretty unique way to help out. Basically, the way this system works is if you supply me with any kind of donation, then the protocol itself will also match your donation with like an increasing amount the more and the more the people donate to me. So for example, if you were to give me 1 DAI, the protocol will give me 4 DAI, which is great, so your 1 DAI can go a long way. So please feel free to come here and check this out. Link to this will be in the description. Another way you could support me is by going to YGift, link in the description. And here, where this says collect for me, it would say tip. You tip this, and you could give me some YUSD if you want. And that would definitely help me out quite a bit. Another way you could support me is you could check out my Rarible store and purchase an NFT. Now, the best kind of support is just you watching my videos and liking them and subscribing. So if you did that, thanks so much for doing that, and goodbye.